Hi, if you're interested in pool homes, please watch this video. We're going to start off by looking at all of the pool homes available in Pasco County, starting with a criteria that I always urge you to follow. Let's face it, you don't want to be in a flood zone. You don't want to be buying flood insurance. You don't want to be in a flood zone. So we're going to take the flood zones out. That's the X and X500 only. Secondly, you don't want to be, and I say you don't, you can do whatever you want, but just generically speaking, right now, with the way that the weathers had changed, meaning we now have tornadoes in Florida, you want to get a block home if you can afford one. And that way you'll be a little bit safer if we get a tornado. Finally, I'm not going to do the 55 and older because unless you are 55 and older, in which case call me back and I will be happy to run a list of those for you. And finally, I want to go with paved roads only. If you watch my vacant land video, you know that dirt roads mean future paving liens. And it looks like you're getting a good deal on vacant land because you have, it's cheaper, but the fact is that you might have 20, 30, 50 grand worth of paving liens in the future when they do go ahead and pave those roads. So in Pasco County right now, there are 366 properties that fall into this criteria. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. This one in Moon Lake is fairly scary. It's $150,000. It's not going to finance. And if you're going to do a renovation loan, or if you're a cash buyer and you want to talk about this one, feel free to reach out. This has only been on the market for 16 days. And the thing that we always want to look at is this is 0.53 acres because land is valuable. Woodbox in Hudson, this is a villa. This is $380 a year for the HOA fee. This is a really good neighborhood, and this is a not so attractive house, but it does have a pool, allegedly. I'm sure we're going to see the picture of it here shortly. It is 2 stories, and this is a pre-rehab. Look at it. Oh, it's like a pool. It's a pool-let. It's like a pool, but smaller. This is a money pit here, $180,000. It's been on the market for 18 days. But it does have 2.5 bathrooms. You're going to spend, I don't know, 80 grand, 70 grand fixing this property up. And then you'll have a $250,000 property, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2-story, 1,700 square feet. This is $103 a square foot. And if you've watched my videos, you know I'm a big advocate of apples to apples. And the way you compare them is by list price per square foot. All right, here's the lakes. It only has one bathroom. 1-bathroom homes are going to be cheaper. They're going to be a lot less buyers are going to be willing to accept a 1-bathroom house. But if you're a single person and you're looking to buy, then a 1-bathroom house will be a big discount. Now this one's only 884 square feet, $231 a square foot. Now this is in the Lakes. The Lakes is advantageous over, say, Regency Park or Embassy Hills, because the ceilings are 1 foot higher and the lots are a little bit bigger. See how high that ceiling is? That the Lakes is attractive, but this property with only 1 bathroom at $205,000 is not going to be something that most people are going to be excited about. All right, this one's in Regency Park. Let's go ahead and look at the pictures of the interior. You're going to see how much lower the ceilings are in Regency Park. Same thing with Embassy Hills, and they have smaller lots. This is $225,000. It's $201 a square foot. It's been on the market for 5 days. And well, we didn't look at the pool. It does have a screen enclosed pool. Okay, so it's not a tiny pool like that other one. It looks like it has a newer roof. So for $225,000, this is an acceptable starter home. This is Gray Fox, only 1 bathroom, $221 a square foot. It is a corner lot. Corner lots are advantageous for people who want to put stuff in their backyard. If you have a boat or a work trailer, you want to pull it into your backyard, you've got to get a corner lot. You can see how much lower these ceilings are. And if you watch my videos, you know I'm always complaining about the pictures, that you should put the pictures of the pool in the first 2 or 3 pictures, and there's no picture of the pool at all in this one. Either way, it's only 1 bathroom, so we're going to call this less attractive, but the price of $229,000 is pretty attractive. Congress Street, this is Hillendale. A lot of rentals in Hillendale. This one is a garage conversion, and it makes it way less attractive, although I find that to be pretty cool. So I'm not the buyer, you're the buyer, and this is not acceptable. $244,000 with no garage. Holiday Hill. Looks like the roof may be suspect. Low ceilings. That's interesting. That's interesting. But anyway, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 264,000, 1,500 square feet, which is bigger than these other cheaper homes. This is $168 a square foot, and this is attractive of the ones we've seen so far. This is Aloha Gardens. Now, this is west of 19. This is a mandatory evacuation zone. It's not a flood zone. This Aloha Gardens, Tahitian gardens, seem to have elevation. They didn't flood during Helene. And this one is 52 days on the market, $275,000. Because it's been on the market so long, let's go ahead and look at the history. It's never had a price change. So they're holding fast at $226 a square foot. San Moritz, this is Embassy Hills, Unit 12. This is a good part of Embassy Hills. This is $275,000. The year was 1977. Jimmy Carter had just taken office. The Trans-Alaskan Pipeline pumped its first barrels of oil, and the original Star Wars hit the theaters. But most importantly, this house was constructed. Now that's funny, and it violates all kinds of rules about listing a house. But anyway, this has a 2-car garage. It's got a very short front yard, but this is an attractive home with a cool a cool realtor. Look at that. This is a very expensive addition. That sliding glass door is an upgrade. The kitchen is definitely got granite, and the pool is okay. I mean, it's okay. Not a lot of room for chairs, but still, this house looks like it's been. Okay, there we go. So this is backsplash. It's got one original bathroom, and that'll cost you, I don't know, $8,000 or $10,000 to fix. So let's use this as a teaching moment. Anytime you get a house, you want to go ahead and pull it up on the property appraiser site. This is 7321 San Moritz. So we're going to go over here, take this house, and use it as a teaching moment. In Pasco County, we use Pasco, PA. It's kind of like the owner's manual for every house. You have to go on to this site, do record search. Was it 7321? So we're going to go ahead and pull this one up and do an analysis here. 7321 San Moritz. Now, if you have a broker, they should be doing this for you. But either way, we're going to do it now, and I'm going to show you how you can do your own research. So this property is taxed at $216,000. Right here, we're looking for subsidence activity, and we see there is none reported, which is good. We're going to verify the square footage, 1,434 square feet. Very important that the square footage matches what they say on the property listing, and it does match. 504 square feet garage, and that is consistent with a 2-car garage. And we're going to look at the history. This house was bought for $145,000 in 2017, and you can see the transactions in the previous years. So what we're going to do is we're going to verify it's got the pool was permitted, the screen enclosure was permitted, and the fencing was permitted. Now this button right here, neighborhood codes. On a pool home, it's not going to be as exact because this includes all the homes. And what we're doing here is we're looking at the comparable transactions. We're going to search for recent sales. We're going to do single family home, and let's put in pool. And there it is, 6-foot pool. We're going to go ahead and put in all the pools just because we need to know. So now we're going to search for sales. This is how we're going to know if we're getting a good deal. Now, there's a lot of these zeros, and this $10 million was a multi-parcel. So we're going to have to go ahead and refine this to get any value out of this information. So we're going to do sale amount of at least, let's say, $100,000. That'll take care of getting rid of the related party transactions. And we don't need the multi, when 5 properties are sold under one deed and it says it's $1 million, we don't need those transactions. So let's search for sales. $235,000 for 1,190 square feet. Now this is 864 feet, 145 grand. Only taxed at 49,000. So there's a story. Now this is vacant land, and there's a story there, but we're not going to deal with it. Monaco, somebody got a great deal, 1,100 square feet for 155,000. Here's 1,000 square feet for $202,000. This works out to about $200 a square feet. This is over $200,000 a square. Sea Breeze, this might be on the water. Actually, I'm pretty certain it is. 1,000 square feet for $205,000. D.R. Horton, that's new construction. 1,200 square feet for $170,000. This is in Second Isle. This is a flood zone and a mandatory evacuation zone. And this one looks like it's a repeat. So there's nothing compelling here as far as the comps go that drive us to believe that the market is more than $200 a square foot. I mean, there's a lot of transactions well below $200 a square foot. We're going to go up to 300 grand. And then we're going to look at the solds on MLS. Highlands Unrestricted. Now this is 1 acre for $275,000. This has only been on the market for 8 days. Now this to me is a great opportunity, and I'll tell you why. Because land, it's above ground pool. Well, so the value here is not in the fact that this has a pool. The value here is in the fact that this has 1.25 acres. It is a paved road. It's not a flood zone. It's a block home. And if you have a need for acreage and you can handle an above ground pool, this is a 1 acre parcel. Now, this does back up to this public park. So you're going to have baseball games at night, and that may not be as attractive to people who want land. Generally want to be away from the world. They want privacy. So that one may not be as attractive. Unless you have kids and you want to be right next to the park. Okay, now this one's a 222 in the lakes. So this is going to have a larger lot. It's going to have higher ceilings. It's got the 2-car garage. And higher ceilings is a really underrated. I mean, people don't appreciate. You get in these houses with the lower ceilings. And I don't want to talk you out of buying Embassy Hills or Regency Park. I just want you to know that if you have the opportunity to get that extra foot of ceiling, especially your tall friends and relatives will appreciate it. All right, so this is an okay house. I like this. This is $275,000. It's in the lakes. Let's go ahead and do a 8341 Moulton. Let's do a quick look at it, make sure we like it on the property appraiser. 8341 Moulton. This is taxed at $260,000. This originally sold in 2019 for $179,000. It's 1,300 square feet, the 483 square foot garage. This has a 6-foot deep pool, and it was permitted. It's got a screened enclosed A-frame. So this one looks okay. Just to make a little further teaching moment, let's go ahead and click on the map. Now, there's a lot of homes that have had settlement issues. A lot of them are insurance events. But just for a quick view, I want to go ahead and show you how to search for homes that have had This is a drop-down menu that gives you all kinds of options to further search. And here's one called Subsidence Sinkholes, and it's under um, uh, parcels. So we're going to go ahead and pull this up. So as we can see in this neighborhood, this home, this home, this home, the yellows have had repairs done, and the purples are unrepaired settlement homes. Likely insurance events. They call them unrepaired sinkholes, but the fact is that they're a sinkhole is a catastrophic ground collapse, and none of these were catastrophic ground collapse. These were just homes that had insurance events, and the insurance report says that the damage to the home, the settlement damage, could be from various items, including sinkhole activity. And I'll show you how to really get educated if you want to learn about this. But if you're shopping in Pasco County, Hernando County, even in any of the counties in Florida, there is an issue with settlement homes, and it's worthwhile to be educated. You're going to find out after you buy them. You want to know before you buy them. So right now, this two-bedroom, two-bathroom, 1,300 square feet, the two-car garage, $275,000. Let's look at the history on it. And the history is they started at 290 and they dropped it to 275. They haven't had a price change in a couple of months. So on something like this, I would definitely consider offering them, $250,000 just to see if they make a counter. All right, Linkwood and Colonial Manor. Colonial Manor is south of, or it's just north of Moog Road, but it's on the south side of 54. The advantage is that there's so much interest in Pasco County by people who live in Pinellas. So the further south you are in Pasco County, the more the opportunity it is to have, look at that, a nice rental. This is above ground pool. So this is substandard, $280,000. It's only got 1.5 bathrooms. It means there's a half a bathroom in the garage, likely. Tanglewood Terrace over by Gulf High School, $285,000. This is $207 a square foot. And what I would target is purchase around $200 a square foot. Beacon Woods, $223 a square foot. But this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car garage in Beacon Woods. Remember, this is $340 a year. And this is a way different lifestyle than those other. In fact, just look at that. There's no rear neighbors. Let's take a look at the map. Clayton Village. This is a 1980s neighborhood, but it certainly is very attractive. Okay, this backs up to 5A Road. So you're going to have cars going by, and this is, it's not as attractive, but it is what it is. It's a $10,000 price reduction. This particular one in Clayton Village is $368 and a year, and this is $223. 17 days on the market. They're less likely to be negotiable. The roof looks like it might be a little bit older. If you have a realtor that's working for you, we're going to try to get them to buy you a new roof. The insurance companies do not like old roofs, and they're not insuring them. And even though there might be some life left on it, it's going to be an issue for you. All right, this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage. It's 1,300 square feet. It's $221 a square foot. This is in a mandatory evacuation zone in that it's west of 19. This has low ceilings, newer kitchen. It has terrazzo floors. Let's look at the pool. This is south of 54, so this is attractive if you wanted to be a landlord and you weren't too worried about the mandatory evacuation zones. This is right here. This is Tiki Village. If you're 55 and older and you want to talk about a really good, there's 5 complexes for 55 and older that are in Pasco County, West Pasco County, that have mobile home parks for 55 and older, and I'm an expert in that if you have an interest. I actually own one in Tiki Village. Okay, so this is fairly awesome. This has the lower ceilings, but what a view. A bunch of original stuff, but a very nice backyard, very nice pool, and there's a view. You could spend your mornings with. 1,500 square feet. This is $197 a square foot. This is not very reassuring. It's 206 days on the market, And that's not good. I mean, look, all the best deals sold in the first week or two. So logically, if this was a great deal, then it would have sold. But look what they did. They listed it 335, 330, 322, 315. They increased it to 499. That was a mistake. He meant to go to two, or she went to go to 299, went to 499, and then dropped it to 299, making it look like a $200,000 drop. You ponder whether that was a strategic error, but this is $197 a square foot on that water, and it's not a flood zone. Let's look at that map. Now, this pond, lake, whatever you want to call it, you cannot put your jet ski on it. There is one dock, but there is no, oh yeah, there's a paddle boat. I was going to say, I'm pretty certain you can get on this in a non-powered, um, uh, boat. So I said we're going up to 300,000. We just covered 16 properties. Let's cover this. Is Zephyr Hills, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, $289 a square foot, 1969 house. I don't know what's going on there. All right, Embassy Hills, $299.9. If you watch my videos, you'll know I'm an advocate that you never list them at $299.9 because someone's searching 300 to 315. Well, it'll be on that list. Someone's searching 275 to 300. It'll be on that list. So this home has been rehabbed. I like what they did here with the privacy, but it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, $226. Looks like it's pretty well updated. And let's get up to the 300,000. Here we are, 305 in Jasmine Lakes, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,280 square feet, $238. Okay, so now what we want to do, anytime we do an analysis of any criteria, you want to go back and you want to look at the solds. The solds are going to tell you what the real market is. You can't look at Zillow and follow the market. You can't look at Realtor.com and follow the market unless you are running a search on Zillow or Realtor.com that includes the solds and the pendings. It looks like I'm having a issue here with my internet. So we're not going to be able to do the pendings and the solds. Okay, here we go. Oh, Dahlberg. Let's look at this one because this one is 3.8 acres. I'm a big advocate of the value of vacant land. And that's not a block home, but okay. So if vacant land is worth 60,000 an acre, this thing's worth 180 grand in land. And let's say this property is worth another 60,000. So this maybe is worth 240 grand and they're asking 309. And that's that. I don't see, I mean, if you're looking for vacant land, it might be, you make a low offer on that one and then just tear down the property, turn down the building. All right, right now, I don't know if I trust the internet. What I'm doing is I'm watching this number down here, 366 matches. That was the actives. So we're having a problem with the Wi-Fi, and it's just a shame. Okay, here we go. 187 properties right now in Pasco County with a pool have a contract. This is way too many for us to analyze. There's 69 properties that went pending in the last 2 weeks that are under this criteria. In the last 7 days, it's such a shame. I'm so far into this video, I don't want to start over. It says there are 39 in the last 7 days, but I don't think that's right. Let's go ahead and look at them and see if it'll open. Okay, Ridgecrest Gardens, Aristida, which this is baloney. That's a baloney. It's not an Aristida. 250,000 pending, $279,000 pending. What I'm looking for here is the days on market, 33 days, 132 days. I know this property, 67 days, 183 days. Very nice neighborhood, this Orchid Lake Village, 314,000 in 36 days. Mark Twain, $325,000. Holy moly. I don't think the value in Regency Park on Mark Twain argues 325. Now this is a 1,442 square feet. This is an Eldorado model. There it shows it, and that's seems to be a pretty attractive floor plan. Okay, solds in this criteria, 626 properties have sold in this criteria in the last 180 days. Look, in the last 14 days, 69 properties have sold that have a pool. Now, I hear people, oh, the market's bad. Oh, my God, the market, the market, the market. Yet, if you look at the actual data, there are transactions. All right, this was $235,000. It sold for full price in 27 days. And this is really the most valuable part of this video, or these discussion. This was $250,000. It sold for over the asking price at $260,000. Now, likely they paid closing fees and they just increased the price, but this sold for $318 a square foot. And it looks like a nice house, but that's not the greatest neighborhood. Holiday Gardens Estates, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, no garage, sold for $280,000 in 17 days. Now this is nice. $325,000, sold for $310,000, $211 a square foot, brand new roof. Very nice neighborhood. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-car garage. Well, we can clearly see that we're well over our $300,000 mark. $300,000 sold for $320,000. This is an X and an A flood zone, so this won't meet our criteria. What I want to do now is I really want to go ahead and analyze the properties that sold on the lower end, just to give the market, give us the idea of what's happening in. So what I've done is I've gone back 21 days and I've gotten the properties, 18 properties that are at $325,000 or less. Let's see if I can get some more and look at the low end. Only one property in the last 21 days sold for under $310,000. In 90 days, we have 59 properties. I knew there was going to be a bulge somewhere. So there were a lot of transactions. There they are. Okay, Hunt Club. This is not the property I thought it was. But somebody got a deal here. This was asking $179,000. It sold for $162,000. This is a 1-bathroom house, and that explains the less attractiveness. Here's a 3-2 in Westport. Now this one might have flooded, and it sold for $169,000. There's no question this flooded, actually, because the price shows it. Okay, see the chair rail as a giveaway that this the drywall was all replaced. You will have to look at the property disclosure to verify that it flooded, but I'm quite confident based on the price that this is well, I can just look at the map and tell you. It just depends on where it was on Scenic. Okay, so the water did come up. It did not flood these condos, and this side of the road, as I understand, talking to the neighbors, it did flood, but not very badly. Zephyr Hills. Let's go through here. $190,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. The sold price was $139 a square foot. Terrific deal. Terrific deal. Regency Park, $147 a square foot. This sold for $230 a square foot. This has got to be a bigger house. It's not. Oh, it's a smaller house. Okay, 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom. San Carlos and Embassy Hills, Unit 12, good part of Embassy Hills, sold for $150 a square foot. $179 a square foot. Above ground pool. We don't want above ground pool. Dresden. This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. I don't think it has a garage. $135 a square foot. So it just goes to show there are deals out there. $240 a square foot. Sold for $10,000 over the asking price. I'm sure they paid closing fees. Okay, Orchid Drive in Jasmine Lakes sold for $255 a square foot. Chesswood. Now, if you have an interest in talking more, what I would do is I would go ahead and give me a call. Here's my contact information. If you're receiving emails from me, I've been sending out emails of some of my YouTube content. If you are shy and you just want to go on and look at my content, let's jump over to my YouTube page. I just did this wholesaling video yesterday. Here's the vacant land video that I did. I was out of town for a couple of weeks, so I have a gap in my content here. Multifamilies. If you're interested in multifamilies, I'm fairly schooled in multifamilies. Here's my last pool video. It might be worthwhile to go watch this video for the purpose of comparing it to the current video. Bad words in real estate. I really got to promote that because buying a home or just watching best practices, real estate best practices. I'm a big advocate of doing the right thing. And anytime you see a video like that, it generally means I'm bitching. Oh, down payment assistance. I am a mortgage broker, and I do a down payment assistance. Here's a button. If you get an email from me, or if you don't, reach out to me, and I'll talk to you about down payment assistance. Also, if you want to buy a home that needs work, we can do a renovation loan. It's a real big benefit to be able to wrap your rehab cost into your long-term financing. Anyway, I'm Randy Jenkins. Here's my information. I appreciate the opportunity. This video went way longer than it should. I think the average is 45 seconds, so nobody's watching. If you are watching and we ever talk on the phone, say, I was 31 minutes into your pool video and I stuck the whole way. Hey, thanks for watching. Have a great day.